and welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well as we look forward to the visit of that lot from across the road. Yes, City versus United. Match day 8, Sunday the 2nd of October at the Etihad. Yeah, so we welcome them to our ground. So this is the preview show. We're going to have a look. Who's going to start? Who's going to start this game? I've just literally watched Pep's press conference, so it wasn't anything different to what I'd already planned on saying as far as my starting 11 was concerned. Some interesting stuff on that, though. And, of course, this game will be on Sky Sports. Yes, so if you're not getting to the ground, it'll be on Sky Sports. Please, if you are new to this channel, do enjoy what I do, please push that subscribe button and push the bell notifications. It'd be great. And, of course, if you can leave your comments and your views and your starting 11s and your ideas on this, are you confident, you're not confident, please leave us all your comments. That'd be great. And if you can give us a thumbs up, guys. It's nice to get thumbs. It's nice to get views. It's nice to get thumbs up. So it's a bit like Twitter, guys. If you don't have a YouTube channel, it's a bit like Twitter. You love it when you get loads of likes and thumbs up, don't you? But it's the same with YouTube. But, if you're on it, you love it when people do that. So if you can give us one of those, that'd be absolutely brilliant. The match odds, guys. Yes, let's have a quick look at the match odds. Of course, obviously City favouritism. Please, I don't condone gambling when the fun stop. City are 1-3 on, so not the shortest we are ever been, but pretty safe. A draw's 9-2. You can actually get slightly better than these if you shop around, but these are just the general standard odds. United are 8-1. I think as a United fan, I might be having a go on that. It might be worth the odd 50p, might it? It was a United fan. Of course, previously, last season, we got a bit of the monkey off our back. They've had a good go at us, haven't they, at the Etihad over the last few seasons. Certainly under Pep, we've not been the most successful, certainly at the Etihad against them. But we got a bit of our own back last year, didn't we? It was 6th of March 2022, and that was a 4:30pm kickoff. And the team that day, I wonder how many of these will be playing. Ederson. Anyway, we'll see later. Ederson, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Roderick, KDB, Bernardo, Foden, Mahrez, and Grealish. Yes, certainly can. The old meat shield wasn't involved, was he? That's for sure. I'm sure that team will include him this time. United, just for their team, was De Gea, Telles, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, McTominay, Sancho, Pogba, Elanga, and Fernandes. Interesting team. So a few changes to that, isn't there? I mean, of course, after United doing so well previously, we did dominate this, and eventually, although it's a bit closer at half-time, eventually finished up with a fine 4-1 win. This is just a little excerpt from my match report, thinking back to that day. A thoroughly deserved and comprehensive win for City despite a reasonably close first half. City took control of second and United just had no answer to City's football. We got our swagger back at 3-1 and just took the mick at 4-1. Yes, it all started on 5 minutes. City took the lead. Our first foray into the United box. Some nice work by Grealish and his touch to Bernardo, who quickly cut back across at KDB, coolly slotted home with De Gea flat-footed. 22 minutes, United got not a totally undeserved equaliser. They put us under a bit of pressure as the ball found its way to Sancho, who does really well after being put through by Pogba. He killed the ball in off the post, so that was 1-1, a bit depressed. But 28 minutes, City were back in front after a bit of pinball in the United box. De Gea saved superbly from Foden. Bernardo's effort is blocked but not fully cleared, and it finds its way to an unmarked KDB to move it slightly to one side, then smash it home. And then, of course, second half, 68 minutes, total City control most of that second half, and it's rewarded with a third as KDB floats a corner to the back where Mahrez meets it sweetly, takes a deflection off Maguire's knee to give the United keeper no chance. Would it have gone in without that? Probably not, but hey, who cares? You've got to get the shots in first, haven't you? 90 minutes, of course, the icing on the derby cake, as Mahrez blasted home, almost knocking De Gea's head off after a through ball from Gundogan. The initial offside decision is overruled. Great run by Mahrez. Yeah, it was classed as offside, but it wasn't, and it was 4-1. So there you go. That took our record at home against United. So played 83, won 27, drawn 25, but we lost 31. Yeah, so that actually was a bit closer before Pep came. So yeah, he's got to pull his pants up and get this home against United sorted out. Pep say that wasn't. We've dropped a little bit behind now. Although we have outscored them, 120 goals to their 108. Who's in charge? Well, you'd be glad to know there's not that many to choose from these days. It's Michael Oliver, of course, is in 7th Manchester derby. and that's the most of any referee currently. The 37-year-old who's last officiated City in August when we beat West Ham took charge of 9 games so far this season, and he's shown 29 yellow cards and no red cards. Hopefully that will continue as long as it's not a red card for a City player. I don't think have we had anyone sent off this season in the league? I don't think we have. Yeah, have we? Lionel, Stuart Burton, Simon Bennett. Paul Tierney, of course, is on VAR, and making his pot noodle for him. His assistant is Adrian Holm. David Coote is the 4th official. So how are United doing? Well, a little bit better than the start, wasn't it? United's 22-23 so far. After what we could call a comedic start, wasn't it, to say the least? The old Ten Hag is now seemingly getting a bit of a tune out of them. Defeats by Brighton and Brentford forgotten, of course, now with 4 league victories, include one over, not the strongest Liverpool team, and of course, and a win over tabletop Arsenal. Although Arsenal did actually dominate most of the stats on that game, but obviously United and certainly Mr. Marcus Rashford were sort of on point for that one and made the most of the chances. I believe Rashford could be injured, but I believe he could be back for the derby, so that's a bit of a funny one. As I say, I don't usually worry about Rashford too much, but I think he's a confidence player as well. When he's playing, when things are going well, I think he's all right. So, but interesting to see anyway. And if the 10 Bob Pep revolution is in full swing, they'll have to put their 1-0 defeat by David Silva's Real Sociedad, of course, to rights. That was their last game, even though, as I said, they have won the last 4 league games. And a positive result, the Etihad, will make people wonder. Yeah, they're actually 33-1 to win the league title. United, you can see that tumble if they manage to beat us at the Etihad. It won't tumble. It might half. Might go down to about 25-20 to 1 or something like that. But of course, that's a fair price. Basically on the starting league form, but they have improved since. United, they never lack confidence, do they? Even when they're rubbish, and it's a derby, it doesn't matter. Certain things are just go to the wall, don't they? Certain standards, the best team. All this about the best team doesn't always win, and anything can happen. Of course, it doesn't. I mean, it happens in any game. It doesn't have to be a derby match. So I don't particularly agree with that, but they will be up for this. And I think, of course, we owe them one, don't we? And I think Pep needs to re-establish. I say we stuffed them last season. Did the double over them in the league. But Pep has got a bit of making up to do for me. I think we could have done better against United over the last few years, and a lot of that was to do with Pep losing. I think he's played. He's been in charge for 18 games. He's won the most. He's won 8, and we've lost 7 and drawn 3. So that includes cup games as well. But I think we could do better. But like anything, it doesn't matter how United play. It doesn't matter what United are doing. This will be interesting to see just how well they do play against us. But it all matters on what we do, isn't it? It all matters what City and Pep do. And that's all we're going to look at now. And obviously, we have found out, of course, Stones won't be out for too long, hopefully, according to Pep's press conference. Could be back training within 10 to 14 days. So hopefully... he's probably obviously out for key games of United like this one and Liverpool, of course, but he should be back after that. So he's gone, obviously, after the international break. So if you look at the Wolves game, which was the last time we had a look at City, at that stage, I did say in my decisions little feature that Ederson, Akanji, Diaz, Rodri, Foden and Haaland were possibly undroppable from that Wolves game. Have I changed my mind on that? Possibly not. Nope. But I still stand by that a couple of weeks later. So my thoughts in defence before I give you my 11. We mean with Walker fit. Of course, Pep's got to start him. He's going to start him. He doesn't have an option now anyway with Stones, does he? So Walker's going to play right back. And surely Cancelo's going to move over to left back again. He'll play left back, which is his main role these days. Akanji seems to have earned Pep's favour. So... Aki could be in. It's too early for Laporte. Surely it's too early for Laporte. But I think Akanji is going to be one of the first, probably there before Diaz, in fairness, on the team sheet. I think, Akanji and Diaz at the back. As I said, too soon for Laporte. Aki may see his services needed for Copenhagen last week. He has had a little bit of a scare, hasn't he? I think niggle-wise, he seems okay, though. After the international, someone said he was injured again, but I think it was just someone telling fibs. So I think he'll have to sit and wait this one out. And Stones, of course, is not a problem anyway. So I think Aki will get his chance next week. I think Laporte might get his chance next week as well, but he'll certainly be on the bench for this one, I think. Rodri is irreplaceable. Of course, he is. Mr. Phillips will be back after the World Cup for the club. Whether he'll actually go to the World Cup, I'm not too sure. But of course, Rodri will have to just keep him fit. There's nothing else we can do about it. I mean, he may be able to get a couple of games rest before the World Cup break. If he fiddles about the defence and use Gundo in a more that role, or if Stones comes back, he could use him in a similar sort of role, depending on, of course, a couple of the lesser games, let's say. But he needs to stay fit. I mean, I can see him missing both the Copenhagen games. Only, in theory, looking at just how poor Copenhagen are at the moment, please, there will be a preview show of that one coming out very soon. So Rodri, irreplaceable, of course he is. So it's really, who else have we got there? You've got the steady ones. You've got KDB, obviously. There's no doubt he's not going to start. And you can't look past, for me, the guy who sweats blood in these games, Bernardo. He enjoys a derby game. He always looks right up for it and always produces, hopefully, some bit of magic that he normally does. And Gundogan, I don't think there'll be a spot for him. I think even though he looked as though he ran the game for Germany against England the other day, I think he will miss out for this one. I think he'll be on the bench and he may be an effective substitute later on. But yeah, I think Bernardo and KDB, and I think Gundogan, I can't squeeze him into this team anyway. And Palmer will be waiting patiently. I don't think he's going to worry too much about not being in the team for this. So that leaves up top, doesn't it? Interesting. It leaves up top. We've certainly got Haaland. That's no problem. A lot of people will want to see Alvarez. Of course they will. I don't think it's happening just yet, although he's chomping at the bit, but I think he's still reasonably happy. So you got Haaland, and you've also got to have the other boiled City fan, no doubt. Foden's going to be playing in this, although I thought his last game for England wasn't great, but it's England, so that says a lot. So I think Haaland and Foden are shoo-ins for this. I can't see anything wrong there. So that leaves one more forward spot, doesn't it? I mean, you've got the old battle between Grealish, of course, and Mahrez. Grealish helped his cause by scoring against Wolves and didn't have a bad game. But Pep's always looked to Mahrez, hasn't he? Pep's always had a sort of a favouring for Mahrez in these games as well for this sort of matchup with United. So it'd be interesting because if Foden, I think Foden's a shoo-in, but yeah, many think Foden's less productive on the right, so it does open up for Mahrez, doesn't it? As opposed to sort of Grealish being on the left and Foden on the right. But yeah, no Grealish. No, Grealish. No, probably not. I think he'll play. I think Grealish should play, and I think, as I said, it's far too soon for Alvarez, and I don't think there's any other players coming into the equation at the moment. So yeah, so that brings me to my 11. If you can figure out from what I've been saying what I'm going to go for, I've put the team out a couple of times on Twitter over the last couple of days when people have been asking, but this is my 11: Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo, and KDB. And yes, up front, the two shoo-ins for me, Foden and Haaland, the two City fans, and Grealish. As I say, not going to surprise me one bit if Mahrez doesn't start in this, but Grealish, I think he had a good game against United back in March, if I remember rightly. And as I said, that goal against Wolves certainly won't sort of put Pep off starting him. So please let me know your 11, what you think will start this big game. Just to sum up before we go, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I mean, it's interesting because we don't know what tactics old Ten Bob Pep's going to play, do we? We don't know what Ten Hag's going to do with this. It'll be interesting to see how he plays it, if he's positive. And I think they need to be positive. They've got to be positive. I don't think they can be sitting back. I think we'll totally punish them. All right, they mightn't try and hit us and get us on the break as they've done before, the sucker punch, if you like, which they're very, very good at. Of course, we know they are. And even if you think of the 7 games we've lost against United, there's probably only a couple of those who probably, on the balance of play, deserve to lose. But United are very good at what they do. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what tactics Ten Hag plays in this one. I think Pep will be prepared. Yeah, I think he knows a little bit about him. I think they know a little bit about each other. But it's got to be a win. Got to be a win, this guy. It's got to be a win. It's got to be 3 points. We need these. We've got 8 home games now before the World Cup. A couple of 2 or 3 Champions League and League Cup games, but we've got to be winning all these home games. As I say, we've got to be in a good position coming into this World Cup. So it's got to be 3 points for me. I've given out a 4-1 as my predicted scoreline on a couple of channels and a couple of other pods, vlogs. So I'll stick with that. I'm being brave, the same as last season. I think you only get about 16-1 at the bookies, so I won't be risking anything on that. But yeah, that's what I'm going for. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what your score predictions are. Please check out my odds show, of course, that's already out there. And a couple of recent History Boys vlogs I did. One, Heart Now Here, which was about Etihad's first derby, of course. And yeah, Anatomy of a Goal, which is about Main Road's last derby, of course, with Mr. Sean Goulter. So please check those out if you get the chance. You want to enjoy for the build-up of this derby match. And of course, the player ratings and talking points will be available. Player ratings will be available on Sunday evening, and talking points will be either Monday or Tuesday morning, depending when I can get back to watch the game all the way through, which will be a lot easier as long as we win it, that's for sure. Let me know your thoughts, guys, please. If you go into the match, enjoy yourself, stay safe, come and say hello if you see me. If you're watching it on telly, just enjoy it just as much, and let's hope we can do the buggers. I hate getting beaten by these. It's painful enough getting beaten, then you have to face people in work the next day who, are ready to rub your face in it. But we've had some good times recently. But there we go. Let's hope we can do the business. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Bye for now.